He says, Hine yekar ginu chayim noah. He says, this is a person sighing groans. He says it's very, very precious. Because that provides wholeness in a place of lack. That means to say, when a person is going through a rough time, what does he do? When he does that, it's very precious, he says. That shows that a person wants to change and he wants to fulfill and wants to make something that's missing be complete. And he says, you should know that the world was created through what? Ruach Hayim. It says that what? Ruach Piv Kol Tzava'am. Hashem made the whole world, all his creations, with Ruach of his mouth. And Hashem said, and it became. So you see that the Ruach, the person's breath and the person's spirit, is the main thing. And he says that also Hayuta Adam, Hashem Vayipach Ba'apav Nishmat Hayim. Hashem put life force into Adam through his Ruach. So you see the Ruach of a person is what makes things happen, create. So this, you have something bothering you, and you sigh, that shows that you have motivation inside of you to fix something. You want to fix something and make it complete. And therefore, that's very, very special, because now if you use this properly, you can accomplish a lot. So he says that he says when a person sighs, an extension of the breath. An extension of the breath corresponds to erech hapayim, which erech hapayim means having patience. So therefore, when a person is missing something and he goes and he has this long breath, it shows that he has a ruach of chaim that is lacking and he wants to fix it. And he says this is very powerful. Now, what are you supposed to do with it? He says, "Da sheikar ruach chaim mikablim tzadik sharav shabador." He says you have to know that the major source of ruach, of potential to create in the world, is sitting by who? It's sitting by the tzaddik or the Rav of the generation. And therefore he says, because why? Where's the main ruach come from in the world? You want ruach and you want spirit of life to create. Where did you get that from? He's Torah. Because it says, ruach elokim merachefet apnei hamayim. Because the pasuk says, and the ruach of Hashem was hovering over the water surface in Sefer Bereshit, Parashat Bereshit. And the Zohar, Tikunei Zohar says, what's this ruach elokim? It's the Torah. The main Ruach Chaim is in the Torah. And who has the Torah in this world? The Tzaddikim, the Tzaddik of the generation. He has the Torah. So therefore a person should be connected to him. Even if you sigh and you have a lot of stuff going on, if you're connected to the Tzaddik, the Rav of the generation, which we said means to get advice from them, and then you're going to be able to fulfill your lack. Then you're going to be able to overcome and fulfill the missing part of your life. But what happens if you do not connect to the Ruach of the Tzaddik, to the one who has the Torah? Where are you going to get fulfill your lack? Everybody in their soul has something missing, and they have a gap. They have something they need to complete. They need to overcome. They need to fulfill. If you don't connect to the tzaddik, what's going to happen? You're not going to fulfill it through the Torah and get the advice from the Torah. Then he says, you should know, Reshaim dovrim al tzaddik atag v'gava baboz. There's Reshaim who speak against the tzaddik, who have gava, they're bodigi. Ma'ayin mekabim ruach lashim mechisaron. So those Reshaim who go against the rabbis, they don't connect to the rabbis. Where do they get their completion of their Ruach Hayim from? He says, Da she is Rav de Klipa. There's also another type of rabbi, called the rabbi of the Klipa, of the evil side. Ubchinat Esav, which is corresponding to Esav. Like Esav said to Yaakov. Yaakov said, let me give you a gift. And Esav said, Yesh li Rav, I have a lot. But Rabbi Nachman saying, Yesh li Rav doesn't mean I have a lot. It means Yesh li Rav, I have my own rabbi. Esav was saying, you have your rabbi, I have my rabbi. You have your rabbi for holiness, I have my own rabbi for klipa. So therefore, we said there's two types of influencers. Today, if you're not getting influence from the rabbis and listening to what the rabbis are saying, by hearing Shirei Torah, you don't come to the shiur for the Gemara, you don't come to the shiur for halakha, you don't come to the shiur in the shul. Where are you going to hear your shiur from? You're going to get a shiur from who? From the other rabbis. Who's the other rabbis? The rabbis of the klipa. You're going to go on Instagram, you're going to go on social media, you're going to watch the news, you're going to hear what CNN says, you're going to hear what this guy says, you're going to hear what that guy says, and you're going to absorb, and you're going to say, yeah, you know whose fault it is? It's all the government and this issue that we have in the country. That's what the problem is. And you're not going to realize, maybe it's you and Hashem, there's Hashem sending you a sign. What are you talking about? No, it's this guy, it's that guy, it's his fault, and therefore you're going to get the wrong advice because you're listening to the rabbis of the klipa. So if a person has to make sure that you connect to the rabbis of the tzaddikim, not the rabbis of the klipa, in order to get the wrong ruach haim. You should know, Rabbi Nachman also said that a person, the day he doesn't do it bodedut, you learned one chapter of heresy from the Satan. That means to say that if a person does not sit daily and speak to Hashem and say to Hashem, help me and Hashem, give me right advice, Hashem, show me the right path to overcome my obstacles, you're not connecting to Hashem in a deep way, you're going to connect to somebody else in a deep way. Who are you going to connect to? Satan. And Satan's going to give you heresy. He's going to tell you advice and put in your mind, yeah, you have a money problem with this guy? Don't worry, lie, steal, cheat, don't worry, it's good, fight for your family, he also steals, he also is a ganav, he deserves it, and therefore you're going to get advice from the Satan, which your person comes up with it himself, because puts it inside of you, and if you don't have a tzaddik, or a source of Torah, to give you right guidance, you're going to fall exactly to the trap and the advice of the Satan. Baruch